Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
It's really important to protect our kids and our community.
The Me Too campaign is now spreading to your church. A new social media hashtag is aiming to bring attention to sexual assault in religious communities.
It's called #Church2, and people are speaking out about their experiences. But an area church is working to prevent these incidents before they even happen.
Tonight, Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer takes a look at this campaign and how churches are reacting.
Twitter is at it again. Except this time, users are hoping to raise awareness on what they call a hidden crime. It's sexual assault at church, and the numbers show that people between the ages of 12 and 34 are at the highest risk of being raped or sexually assaulted.
85% of the people who do abuse are actually known by the victim, knows the perpetrator. And so we tend to think, well, it won't happen here because we know everybody, but it's not the case.
We tried contacting a rash of churches in the FM area. Many of them didn't want to talk. They say it's a tricky subject. But at Bethel Church in Fargo, staff members work hard to ensure no incidents like these happen.
We do background checks on the volunteers and references, application process, interview, things like that. For our staff, we actually have training on how to recognize abuse and not put themselves in a position where that might happen.
We spoke with the Catholic Diocese of Fargo. Director of Communications Paul Braun says they have a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to any form of sexual assault. He says that they deal with any cases harshly and swiftly. Although there have been situations in the past at Catholic churches, Braun says they work hard to maintain a safe environment for all who worship here. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
The most recent sexual assault-related incident in a church we could find was from this past spring. Father Thomas Feltman of St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Richland County was placed on administrative leave for alleged conduct with kids. No criminal charges were ever filed. To view the Catholic Diocese of Fargo's official policies, head to our website, valleynewslive.com.
Motion carries.
It's a bittersweet action we just took. I don't think anybody on this board wanted to lose Dr. Schatz this early to retirement, but I'm happy for him.
Fargo schools will be getting a new superintendent for the next school year. Dr. Jeff Schatz announcing his retirement today after 32 years in education.
How are you feeling today?
Very good.
You're feeling good?
Yeah. I think it's time for me to step back and to just look to the future and see if there's some other things that I might want to pursue. I've done everything I can, I think, in this system. Feel good about where we're at as a district. It's just the right time, and the reason why now is so the board has plenty of time to be able to find a replacement.
Schatz's last day will be June 30th of next year. School Board President Jim Johnson says they're hoping to have final candidates by early February. If not by then, an interim superintendent will be selected.
A Fargo man will likely be facing charges after leading police on a chase for more than 120 miles from Montana into North Dakota. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says it started with a deputy trying to pull over a car on I-94 about 120 miles from the North Dakota-Montana border. Authorities say they tried to use spike strips multiple times to stop the car, but the driver avoided them. The chase ended in Golden Valley County, that's in western North Dakota, when the driver lost control and rolled the car. Authorities say 19-year-old Joshua Trichler was hurt in the crash and had to be taken to a hospital for treatment. They did not release any information about the extent of his injuries, but say the incident is under investigation.
3 people of interest have been tracked down in connection to a homicide where a woman was found dead in Cass County, Minnesota. All 3 are from Cass Lake, Minnesota area. No word on if any will be facing charges. Officers say they are cooperating with investigators. The murder happened November 12th at a house in Cass Lake. The 25-year-old woman was found on the floor with a gunshot wound to the head. 24-year-old Brandon Roy of Cass Lake was arrested in connection with the death and is facing multiple charges, including second-degree murder. His bail was set at $1 million, and he could face up to 80 years in prison if convicted.
Authorities say a man charged in an international fentanyl trafficking operation that led to the overdose death of a North Dakota man is accused of ordering other defendants to keep quiet. Daniel Cerrone, a Colombian national who allegedly ran the enterprise from a Canadian prison, pleaded not guilty to obstruction of justice in Fargo today. An indictment says he wrote letters telling co-conspirators to remain silent and alerting other suspects about the investigation.
With the exception of today's strong winds, we continue to ride a wave of decent late November weather. Hutch is here now. Did that wind move on?
It has. In fact, many areas calming down as we head into the overnight hours. Temperatures slipping very quickly in north central Minnesota. You're in the upper teens for highs today, but mid-teens now in Bemidji and low 20s in Fargo-Moorhead. Everywhere cooling off a bit. And as we take a look at the satellite and radar right now, we do see some clouds moving in from the west. Those clouds are going to actually act to help warm temperatures as we go towards morning. Let me show you how. Already in the low 20s in Fargo as we go through the next few hours. South winds actually increase as we go towards daybreak, allowing temperatures to remain in the mid and even upper 20s for some in southeast North Dakota, near 30 to start your Wednesday. It looks like a very warm day. In fact, we'll challenge records on our Wednesday afternoon. I'll have details for the remainder of the work week, and we'll talk about when the winter-like weather makes its return to the valley.
Challenging a record high temperature. Always like to hear that in November.
We aim to please.
Thanks.
You bet.
One of the people accused in the kidnapping and murdering of a pregnant Fargo woman is expected to change her plea to guilty. Brooke Cruz has a plea change hearing scheduled for December 11th. Cruz is charged with conspiracy to commit murder, kidnapping, and providing false information to law enforcement in relation to the disappearance and death of Savannah Greywind. The other person charged in the case, William Hain, is next scheduled to be in court a week from tomorrow. He has pleaded not guilty to the same charges. Greywind's body was pulled from the Red River near Harwood last August, about a week after she disappeared from her North Fargo apartment. The baby Savannah was carrying, named Hazley Joe, survived and is living with her father.
Just when you thought the days of the flip phone were over, Apple is in the running to create a bendy iPhone. That's later on Valley News Live at 10.
And they have premium coffee and now a Clean Plate Award. Which local coffee company is coming out on top in its health inspections?